Hello and welcome to the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Paula, your host, and just to say Happy New Year. This is the first episode of 2023 and it's going to be a good one. So let's go to the show. As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time and freedom to become limitless through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods. If you want help with your marketing, managing or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show. Hello, lovely people. How are you? I feel it's been a lifetime since I was last here. I know we've only missed one podcast of 2022 and we're now in 2023. This is the first podcast of the year. So I felt like it would be a good idea to go through all the things that I'm currently doing to start this new year right for me. Not necessarily right for everyone, but it might be something that you would like to do in your business and your life. So first things first, how are you? I hope you've had a wonderful break. I hope you've had a wonderful Christmas. I'm hoping that you had lovely time spent with your family and that you are feeling positive going into 2023 with your landscaping and garden design business. We had quite a quiet one, so we went away for Christmas, which was amazing. Went and hit some winter sun in Lanzarote. It was wonderful. An unusual Christmas, so not the usual, cold family Christmas, but it was lovely nonetheless. And also we had a very quiet New Year. So we went out during the day, New Year's Eve, and then just had a really quiet early one for New Year's Eve. So feeling a little bit more excited about 2023 now. And the reason I'm feeling quite excited is because I actually knuckled down yesterday with the children and we decided to start work on our vision boards for the year. When I was looking on how to do this with children, my children are quite young, they said to not do it in a yearly way. So for us as adults, we're looking ahead for the year. So our vision boards encompass what we can do and achieve in that year or what you'd like to achieve in that year. You could do it for 3 years, 5 years, whatever you wish. I've done it for 2023. But with the children, I got them to think about their life, which is quite really cool actually, because not only did they have lots of fun creating their vision boards, but they also have some wild dreams which I just want to be there to help them with. So I thought I would share with you 1, vision boards, 2, how we did it, and 3, why I think it's necessary in order to have a great year in business and self, really. So I thought I'd share with you quickly what my daughter, she's 7 going on 8, and she loves a bit of glitter. So if you can see, there's quite a lot of glitter patches here. But essentially, her goal is to be a jockey. She wants to own her own horse. And she really wants to become more self-confident, which I thought was really sweet, actually, very self-aware for such a young age. But I asked her to really describe what she wanted in detail. So for instance, she wants her own horse and it's going to be black and his name will be Jubilee. And when she's a jockey, she's going to ride in black and red silks. Quite specific. And I thought it was very important, not only when you're creating a vision board and you're thinking about how you want your life and your year to be, but it's about being specific as well, because only then can you manifest what you're looking for. So that's why I asked her to be a bit more specific in the colors and what it's going to be called and stuff like that. And I just thought it was really cool. I mean, she had great fun creating that. My son, well, he's just, if you know anything about my son, he's mad on football. So he's just documented his entire football in life journey, playing for Saints, then playing for Man City, then PSG. He wants to be the next Lionel Messi, and he's going to be number 10, of course. So that is his entire goal, vision board, bless him. And then when I looked at mine, I started to think about 6 kind of areas that I wanted to look at, and then trying to plot different goals that I wanted to achieve in all of them. So we had family and friends, we had relationships, we had career, we had hobbies and lifestyle, we had personal growth, and what was the other one that we had? I think it was just like dreams. I can't remember exactly because I was mapping it out last night. But essentially, I looked at all those areas and then tried to pinpoint some goals in there for 2023. So I'll share with you a couple of them. So essentially, I put travel as one area and have mapped out 3 trips I want to go on this year as a family and as a couple with Mike. I then looked at what I want to achieve with the home. That was the other section, home. So if you've been around here for long enough, you know we started with a 2-bedroom bungalow, 1930s, in need of a complete overhaul renovation. We have renovated quite a lot. So the whole downstairs is now done. We are looking to go upstairs. And also we're looking to change the frontage of it as well. And obviously the driveway, everything comes at a cost and time. So it's taken a long time to get to this point. But this year, I've set another goal with the home to take it to the next step. So having some more work done to it and having the time and money to be able to do that. I've also got on there my bodybuilding journey because I've just started with a bodybuilding coach and I'm looking to prep for my first competition this year. Whether I'll do the competition this year or next year, it depends how it goes really, how quickly we can get the body into shape. But essentially that's on the vision board as well because it's a big goal for me. I also have, obviously, with my career side of things is TLC and Aura and what I want to achieve there. And then I've put in there what I want to achieve in other areas. So finish my book, get that published, the next step for the dog sanctuary. I'm not going to be creating the dog sanctuary this year. It's not going to be there and done. So it's more of a 5-year plan. So what's one step I could do this year to get further ahead in my 5-year plan? And then I thought of some really motivational and inspirational words that I wanted to be reminded of all the time. So things like believe in myself, live an abundant life, up level, be happy, limitless. These sorts of things that I've also put on the vision board to kind of inspire me every day when I'm looking at it, because the whole idea of creating a vision board is to inspire and motivate you to achieve those goals and also to remind you of those goals. I'm in the middle of creating a business plan to get some funding. And essentially what happens is you create a business plan for your business and then essentially it goes into a drawer somewhere or it stays on your hard drive of your computer and you never really look at it. You do it for the purposes you need to. So maybe you've started with a mentor and they've asked you to fill in a business plan, or maybe you're going for some funding like me, and you'll create this amazing business plan that you truly believe in, you can see, it's exciting, because it is exciting when you're creating these sorts of things. But actually you never do anything with it or never really look at it because it just is a static document used for that one purpose. With the vision board, the whole purpose of this is to remind me every day what I'm aiming for this year. So what are the goals that I'm keeping in mind for this year? What do I want to achieve this year? And it essentially, if I'm seeing it every day, because I'm going to stick it to my bedroom wall actually, if I'm seeing it every day, it should just help my actions that day be on track towards achieving those things. So the whole point is to keep your goals in mind, to keep them at the forefront of your mind so you're not forgetting about them. So when you're taking good focused action in your business and your life, you are doing so en route to those goals. So they're always at the forefront, so you can't forget about them. And this is why I think a vision board is really important. One, it's quite fun because, I mean, we've got glitter on ours. I'm cutting out some pictures today to put on there, different things for mine. We've done drawing, we've used lots of different colors, we've used glitter pens, that sort of thing. So it's quite creative and fun to do. That's why the kids enjoy it, because it's a bit like an art project. And then the other thing is that, you make it look exciting to look at so that your eye is drawn to it every day and you do feel inspired by it every day when it's up there. I haven't been super specific on my goals on the vision board because my plan now, today and tomorrow, is to work on the strategy behind that. With things like travel and my bodybuilding quest, that is obviously in hand. That is job done pretty much. But with regards to the business objectives and goals, I then will do a strategy plan, sort of A2 size piece of paper, and just brainstorm out how I'm going to achieve the goal for the year and break it down, go, starting with the end in mind and working backwards, so that I give myself quarterly goals in order to achieve it. So that's what's going to sit behind the vision board, if you like. So it may not be super specific on the board. So what I want to achieve with TLC and Aura, there's quite a lot of things I want to achieve with the businesses, but I don't want to put all of the detail on the vision board, because the idea is I want to see the big goal, and then the strategy behind it will be on my brainstorming sheet and strategy planning that I'm going to be doing over the next day or so. So that is really the key for me and my vision board. Is it's just to keep the big goals in mind. Yes. And what I want you to remember is, if you do decide to do a vision board, which I think is a great idea to do, don't hold yourself back. So many times fear can put us off. So we'll think we want to achieve X, and then your brain will say, you can't do that in a year. Are you kidding me? And the fear will come into place. And who do you think you are thinking that? And you're never going to achieve that. And a key, well, how I can explain this, an example of this is, last night Mike was helping Grayson with his vision board, and Grace said, I want to play for PSG. And Mike said, well, you better be a bit more realistic, Grayson, because you're not going to be able to achieve that. And to be fair to Mike, he thought he was doing a year vision board with Grayson. And I had to explain to Mike that no, it's not a year. So yes, okay, in a year he's probably not going to play for PSG. But I also said to him, stop crushing his goals, because ultimately goals and his dreams, and he should be able to achieve anything he puts his mind to. So if he wants to play for PSG, whether that's 5, 10, 15 years down the line, that's his goal and his dream. And we are not to crush it and say, be more realistic. It really, really angers me. Be more realistic. Why? Why can't you dream? And like I explained to Mike, if Lionel Messi, for instance, decide to be more realistic in his thinking, he would never be the person he is today, winning the World Cup with his country, being one of the best football players in the world. He was just never realistic, was he? He just went for his dream. And that's what we've all got to do. We've got to forget about being realistic and just go for what we want. You've heard the phrase, if you aim for the moon, you might hit the stars. That is exactly what I believe all the time. And every time I've been more realistic in my goals, and I've done this a couple of times because people have said to me, oh, don't be so ridiculous, be more realistic. And essentially I have reduced my goals to be more realistic and still haven't achieved them. So I might as well have just gone for the big dreams, my big goals, and fallen slightly short than be more realistic and fall shorter. No, I hate that. And I'm very much against being realistic. And I will absolutely encouraging my own children that they can do whatever they want to do and be whoever they want to be. They've just got to work for it and focus on it. And if that's what they want to achieve, so for Grayson, if he wants to be a footballer, he's going to have to become the best footballer he can. And that's down to practice, time, effort, and focus, really. So don't be more realistic. So when you're creating a vision board, dream big. Don't be more realistic. Put everything you really want on that board, and don't let the fear hold you back. It's my biggest thing. Do not let the fear hold you back. And if you're thinking of putting something on there and then you question yourself, put it on there anyway. You can always change it. You can always amend it if it doesn't feel right for you. Because ultimately, everything you're putting on a vision board needs to feel good and feel right for you and your business and your life. Because it's not just all about business. It's about your life, how you want to live your life, what you want to see in your life, what you want to manifest into your life. How do you want your life to be? What do you want your reality to be? That's what's going on your vision board, not fear, not someone saying, oh, you can't do that. You can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it. There's always a way. You'll always find a way to do what you want to do. So just dream big. When you're doing your vision board, do one for a year. And if you want to go further, do a second one for 3 years or 5 years, if that's how you want to do it. I made the mistake a couple of years ago of creating one which had 5-year goals, 10-year goals, 1-year goals. And it was very muddled because obviously every time I looked at a 10-year goal, I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to achieve that because it's too far in the future. So I had to then really sit down and review it and do it, I find, better a year at a time, just to keep myself more focused. Separately, I have other documents that I have my 10-year plan on. But as a vision board, as something that's in my eye line every day, it's focused on the year ahead. And this is the perfect time of year. We've just gone through Christmas, New Year. We're going back to work. When you listen to this, we'll have been back at work for 2 days. And essentially, it's about new beginnings, fresh starts. You get more creative and more excited about what you can do with your business, what changes you can make in your life. Now, also, a vision board is not a New Year's resolution board. I'm not massive fan of New Year's resolutions, mainly because New Year's resolutions tend to get broken quite quickly, because they are things we say, well, I want to do X, or I'm going to give up X. Well, that's never a good way to start the year. I'd prefer to have some goals set for 2023 and just focus on achieving them, rather than worrying about what I'm giving up, what I'm not going to do, and what resolutions I'm going to make. So I'd rather just look at goal setting and going forward in that perspective. It's more positive, I feel, and easy to adhere to, rather than a resolution. I don't know, I just don't like the feeling of it. But go ahead, if you want to make New Year's resolutions, go for your life. And why do I think it's important to make a vision board? Because I do think people who plan their success are more likely to achieve success. And we all go out in our cars every day and we don't know where we're going, and it tells us a route from A to B. If you're not planning your life and setting some goals in your life, you're just essentially drifting around with no real aim. So you're just drifting. And you can often, if you don't set goals and you don't, plan your life, all of these things, you can often feel like you're just drifting around in life and you don't really ever achieve anything. Nothing ever changes and you feel a bit stuck. So doing a vision board initially, and then, like I say, doing a strategy behind it that then gives you your action plans for the month, the quarter, etc., that can really help focus you on achieving some real goals this year. So that would be my first step. If you want to achieve some major goals this year, if you want to change how you feel this year about your life and your business, do a vision board first, then map out the strategy behind it. That is pretty much all I have to share with you today. It's all very much vision boardy, because it got us all very excited in the house yesterday, doing them and making them. And really, it started making me think about what I can achieve this year for myself, my business, my family. And that is the most important thing, really, family and yourself. Business is secondary to that, and it just allows us to live a greater life, really, a more fruitful life. So if you've got any questions on vision boards, let me know. And if you want any help, TLC is always here to help you. TLC for your landscape and garden design business, we are here. And of course, I've got my next cohort for From the Ground Up course starting at the end of January. If you are looking to start your own business this year, if that's one of your goals on your vision boards, then you need to jump on to the course and we can help you with that. Our current students are really enjoying the course, so can't wait to welcome the next group of you onto that. If you've got any, questions, anything like that, get in touch, info@thelandscapercircle.co.uk, and I will see you next week.